Hello there, this is Nikolai, the manga boomer.
And I am Kai, the anime zoomer. And this is our podcast, Anime Zoomer.
And manga boomer.
Hello. In today's episode 25, we will honor our best anime/manga from 2024, where Nikolai looks at his best manga of this year, and I'm going to look at the best anime this year, because he's the manga boomer and I'm the anime zoomer. We will make this episode look like an award show for the specific anime or manga that we have. We will have specific categories. Then we name our nominees for these categories, and then we award the winner for this category.
Yes. So first, two disclaimers. Firstly, I'm a bit sick, so there will be sneezing, coughing. And also, from a manga side, there is one problem. Rating a manga that came out 2024 is pretty hard because there are differences in the versions. For example, the English version of a certain series could be released in 2024, the physical one, while the German version could be released a year earlier, and the version that you could read online is released 2 years earlier. So for my rankings, I'm using the version that I've read. So on to the first category. The first
Yes.
category is Best Action of 2024 for animes.
I start. I thought you would start, but okay. So for the best action anime, right?
Yes,
You said
yes,
yeah.
action.
Um, I have nominated Demon Slayer Son.
Yes,
Musho.
we should also say a brief sentences why they are nominated, like one or two sentences.
Yes. I mean, Demon Slayer is just action filled and really good. And yeah, what should I say more about it? You know Demon Slayer, everyone, I think. Yes, Mushoku. I was very surprised with the big fight at the end of season 2, part 2, in the maze that they had, and also one specific scene on Father's Day was also kinda funny.
And cruel.
Yes, at the same time. Um, the next one is ReZero. Yes, we had a lot of action in this season. A lot of shit going on there. The next one is the Shan 4. Wait, I had another one, right?
Did you done?
Yeah, okay, no, never mind. Yeah, Shan 4, we get the usual action every time. So,
Before you go on with your winner, I think the other one should also predict what
yes,
the winner
go
should
on.
be.
Predict what will win.
I mean, even though I'm a Demon Slayer hater in quotation marks, there's one thing I can't fault Demon Slayer for. It's the choreography of the action and the scenery of the action and the music. So it's probably going to be Demon Slayer. But if you are counting the raid boss from Shangri-La Frontier, Wuzaimon, he was in the second core for this year, then Shangri-La Frontier could have maybe a shot.
It was actually hard um, to decide what should win there, and I decided to Demon Slayer, of course.
Obviously, even though season was Resident Sleeper from what I heard, aside the last episode.
Yes, definitely. It was my criteria for winning this category. I mean, we had some solid Hashira fights. They were nice too, but the end was pretty awesome.
Should we go on to what's the next category? The next category is yours as well. Best art and animation of 2024 from
A-
animes.
After a small dispute we had. uh, um, yes. I called it art style. So the first one is Dandadan.
Yes.
I mean, Dandadan looked awesome though. Every scene looked really polished. The CGI was very well hidden, so you couldn't clearly see that it's CGI at some scenes. Yeah, what should I say more? Do you have to say anything more to Dandadan animation style?
I think for Denderdan the term art style fits really well because there
Yes.
was definitely style.
Yeah, yeah. The next one is Demon Slayer. When we talk about good animations and very clean artwork, then we have to talk about Demon Slayer because Ufotable is such a pretty good studio with animating scenes.
I don't think Demon Slayer is that clean at times because it tends to get overloaded because of the CGI and what's happening at times. But
Don't
still
think
good.
so. Not for me. I think everything looks awesome in Demon Slayer for me myself.
You are a youngling. You don't get sensory overload.
Yes. The next one is Mushoku.
Yes.
Mushoku looked really good this year, and I don't have anything bad to say about it, so it had to be in there for me.
If it looks as good as season one, then definitely.
Yes, it does. And the next one is ReZero, and we had a we had a lot of shit going on, and animating all the stuff that's going on there is really hard, and I think the studio behind ReZero did an awesome job animating all of this. So yeah, I think ReZero deserved to be in there. There were a lot of good animations this year, but don't take Blue Lock in there.
I
For
wonder
reasons.
why.
Yeah, who knows? So, what would you guess is the winner for this one?
Before we talk about winner, I think there's one show that I'm surprised that you don't have in this category and in some other ones.
Which one?
One Piece. Best action and best animation.
Yeah, I mean, it's an ongoing show, and I wanted to take spot in more anime that were airing this year.
I see. I just wanted to ask before because I was curious.
I mean, you could take One Piece like in every year in action or animations.
Not in every year.
Yes,
Just since Wano started. And
yeah,
even there, the action isn't that good because the action gets broken up by some filler bullshit. So
yeah,
you
that's
continue
true.
with good action. There are just 2 minutes of good action, then
Yes, but you know what I mean. I couldn't.
yes,
You could take it more than just this year,
yes.
so
But
I
this
didn't include it.
the same as before. For me, the action Demon Slayer tends to be a bit overloaded. For example, the finale of season two, but I can see why people find that it's good. So, and objectively speaking, it is still good. So
Yes.
probably Demon Slayer again.
Nah. This one, you may say, has to sit out for Dandadan. Dandadan is a really hard piece because you can clearly see the lore that um, flows into this masterpiece of a show. I mean, episode 7 was it? the Seiki acrobatic yokai.
Yes.
It was so good animated, and the art style were wow. Underdone had a lot of great episodes, and it was hard to find any flaws in the animations.
Yes, especially because the manga is pretty hard to animate as well. Because there are
Yes.
some unique perspectives.
Oh yeah, definitely. So Saint Saru did an awesome job, like I said, like 3 or 4 times already in episodes before, but yeah, it had to be the winner for this one.
Should we go on towards the next category?
Yes.
Finally, it's my turn. Best artwork of 2024. In this category, I'm going to talk about stuff that I read in 2024, not stuff that has come out in 2024. First nominee is Diaciel by Shinichi Sakamoto. It's a retelling of Bram Stoker's Dracula, and it's just a readable art book. Nothing more needs to be said. Second one, as well by Shinichi Sakamoto, is Innocent. A story about the most famous executioner of France before the French Revolution, Charles Henry Sarson, where you can see some great depiction of decadence in the palace from Versailles and some great luxurious paintings, clothing, food, and what so on. Great artwork. The third one is Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint, a manhwa. It's from the same studio as Solo Leveling, so if you know the Solo Leveling manhwa, and you should know because it's really popular because of the anime, then you should know that this one looks good and I think even better than Solo Leveling. And the third one is Witched Atelier. Here the artwork sprang forth some emotions that I've only felt and when I was a little child while watching Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, and some other fantasy things or reading them. Because the magic looks just magical, straight out of a fairy tale. So, before I talk about whether all artworks in this category are 10 out of 10. So, what
I
do you
think
think won?
I think you will go with Omniscient Reader. To be honest, because you talk a lot about it and you like it a lot, so I think it will win.
It's Diaciel, and nothing comes even close to it.
Okay.
The problem is, I don't talk about you with DSL because it's not for you, I think. Because you need to
Ah,
read.
okay.
Because this shit can't be animated. That's not possible. Same goes
See,
for
okay.
Innocent. While Omniscient Readers could be animated, and it's getting an anime, that's why I'm talking about it more in the podcast.
Ah, I see.
So, the next category is Best Ending of 2024, also for me. In this category, I'm going to talk about volumes that came out in 2024. For me, it's important the volume that I read. For example, the German or the English volume. It has needed to come out in 2024. The first volume is Alice in Borderland, where I read the last with signature volume this year. I kinda liked the beginning of the last volume because there was a great mindfuck. What was the cause of Borderland? Was is it? What is it? What was it? The game was really hyped because there were multiple possibilities and it was kinda like of a matrix. We were not sure what was reality, but the solution was kinda okay-ish. The next one is Delicious in Dungeon, where the last German volume came out from me in November, I think. I liked the ending. All of the characters that I liked has good closure. There was a climactic battle, and some characters had really cool solutions towards their story. The next one is Innocent. Innocent has a really cool ending, but the problem is that it isn't really an ending. It's just an ending because the author Shinichi Sakamoto changed magazines and continued the story named Innocent Rouge. So it's basically like a Lord of the Rings Two Towers. It is an ending, but it is really not. It's just a halfway point of the story. But it's still written really well. And the last one is Parasite from your recommendation. At first, the ending is nothing special, the big bad is defeated, yada yada yada. But there's one scene in the ending that is really cool, where it's shown that not only can the parasites be bad, but that nearly a mere human has caused the greatest crime, trauma, and most traumatic scene in the series. Nearly, though. I thought this inclusion was really good to show that humans are also bad and can just be the baddest thing because of reasons. So, what do you think is the best ending for me?
Think you will go with Alice in Borderland.
Alice in Borderland is, I think, the second one. The
Ah,
first
okay.
one is the Parasite ending.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I wouldn't
Because
thought that you would put it
the
up there.
ending in the anime is probably a different ending than in the manga. So,
Yeah, it is. It is. As from what you said, the ending's completely different.
yes, I just like the philosophical point.
Or is it? I don't. Wait, the ending was that a guy tried to kill Shinichiro.
The girlfriend nearly
Yeah, the
died.
girlfriend on the roof.
Yes, then it's the same.
Okay, then it's the same.
I like the ending because it shows that we seen the parasites how bad they are and that humans can be also even as bad. On to the next category. It's one of
Which
yours. Best
yes.
fantasy of 2024. Best fantasy anime.
Um, the first one is I use my appraiser skill to rise in the world. Is it? No, wait.
The
What the
full
fuck?
title is As a reincarnated aristocrat, I use my appraisal skill to rise in the world. A long boy.
Yes, dude, my voice was dead. Um,
And I'm supposed to be it.
um, um, for those who don't know what the show is about, it's about a guy getting reincarnated with the ability to embrace people by looking at them. He gets stats from this person. Like he's good at archering,
Archery.
archery. Or another person is good at strategy. So he then recruits those people to fight the evil guys and to rise up in the world and get a higher standing through this. Because the story is basically there's war in this world and two guys who are the sons of the king that died fighting for the throne, and so he's with the guy who fights for the throne. Yes, and then he recruits those people who have special abilities. Yeah, it's a good anime. I like it a lot.
The title sounds like something that I would normally read.
Yes, actually true.
I can also
But
see on the picture that I've chosen for this one, there are two good reasons to read or watch the show.
they are. Yes. The next one is Konosuba. And what should we say about Konosuba? It's just a funny isekai about a quartet of dummies, and it's just hilarious. This show is pretty hilarious, don't you think so?
Yes. The anime, not the manga. I tried to read the
Y-
manga, it was really unfun.
Yes, I have 2 volumes of this manga, and I didn't continue it. I just like the anime.
Yes, this show works only as an anime, I think.
Yeah, it does.
Maybe the light novel is good also, but my manga was meh.
Yep, let's go on with the next one, and it's Mushoku again. I have a lot of same nominees.
Same.
Mushoku Tensei this season was just stunning with the maze arc, where they try to save Ludi's mother. It was good, and I enjoyed it. Yeah, I don't know what to say else to that.
I mean, you already talked about it, so.
Yeah. And the next one is ReZero, and I also talked about it. Yeah. What would you think will win?
Objectively speaking, Mushoku Tensei should be the best fantasy, but because I know you, that you are going to say ReZero.
You know me good because I will go with ReZero. Dude, I waited like 3 years definitely for season 3, and I didn't got um what would you say? Um what's the English word? Under uh do you know what I want to say?
It did not disappoint.
It did not disappoint. It was so good, and it was definitely an upgrade to season 2.
Yes, I think season 2 was good, but the weekly watch was kind of painful because the progress was very slow.
Season 3 was so awesome. Every episode was a banger, literally.
Hmm.
So it definitely had to win there.
Plus, I season 2 was kind of mad because we were always at the same place, and the place was kind of bland. I can
Yeah,
already see
yeah.
from the picture that you've chosen that there's a lot of more going on because we are in a big
It
city,
yes, it is.
not in just that random temple or what that was.
Yeah.
So, I'm next. The next category is new manga release of 2024. For this one, I'm going to use, like the title suggests, manga volumes that were released in 2024. I'm not counting in the online release. The first one
Hmm.
was the physical release of Goku Guy. I think you also read it because I recommended it to you.
Yes.
It's kind of your classic supernatural shonen, but with really good artwork, really nice characters, and a promising plotline.
Yes, it has something like Chainsaw Man.
It's kind of the next evolution of Chainsaw Man and JJK.
Yeah.
The next one is in Germany we got a new edition of Grand Teacher Onizuka. It's a great it's a great comedy manga. Do you know the anime?
I know some specific scenes.
No. It's first things first, the premise. The first goal of a teacher is obviously very problematic, but you can still enjoy the show because if you know that's problematic and you think about it critically, then you can still have fun. Because the teacher is becoming a teacher to date a young high school girl that he's interested in. But the show is really funny, really funny facial expressions. Plus, because of Onizuka's unorthodox teaching, you get some great life lessons. And I think it's only problematic in the first few volumes. After that, it was fine. The next one is Marriage Toxin. You know this one too because I recommended it to you.
Hmm.
It's an assassin from a poison clan, Gero, who needs to get a wife and produce an heir because his sister is not suitable. She's suitable for marriage, but not suitable for producing an heir because she's into women. So the
Yes,
introvert Gero
she.
needs to find a marriage candidate.
Yeah, his sister is a lesbian, so he has to find a marriage partner.
Yes. This one has cool fights and cool artwork.
Mm. So he takes up jobs to save young women to find his perfect partner.
Yes, because in the other ways of life he's not that competent.
Yes, he's a dumbass in social skills.
Yes, but when you're an introvert, he's relatable because of that.
Hmm.
And the last one in this category is the Fable. It's the story of the Fable. He's a famed assassin. He's basically like John Wick. He can kill you in 6 seconds. But because he needs to go undercover and not stick out anymore, he needs to live, I think it was a year, in some random town or village. But like Gero, he's not good with social skills and needs to cope with not killing people and living a normal life. And the story is somehow really funny because of that. And his partner who's becoming his sister also follows him, and her story is also really funny. The show has some cool action, some really dark scenes, and is just so funny. I'm looking forward to every volume. It also has an anime, and I was quite surprised because this show is not really made to be an anime, but if anime is good, then it could be worth a watch. And the last one is I have five in this category.
I see.
Is I was unsure, so I make a quick double check. Is the fragrant flowers blooms with dignity. Pico romance. It's a basic Romeo and Juliet story, but it's so good. It's so wholesome. You get such great feelings when you're reading it. I don't know how to say it in English, but you feel something in your tummy when you're reading it. There are so much happy moments, so much wholesome moments, good characters, great artwork. It's getting an anime next year, so you can watch it too when it's coming out.
Maybe I will.
Goated. It has the potential to be my favorite romance. I've read 4 volumes this year.
Ah, okay.
I had them in my Christmas project, so I
Hmm,
read the
I
first
saw that.
volume this year and I sprinted towards the books and bought the other volumes. And what do you think is the best new release of this year?
Well, this one is hard because I know that you like Marriage Toxin a lot and you like Goku Rakugai a lot.
Yes, and
But
you also know those shows.
yes, I think you will go with Goku Rakugai because of the Tsundere girl arc and just Goku Rakugai is just really good and I like it too.
Yes. It's not Goku Rakugai because of the reason that the chapters are coming out monthly, so sorry, there's not that much content. That's the problem. If I had
Ah,
six
okay.
volumes this year, then it would probably be Goku Rakugai, but I've only read 20 odd chapters or 3 volumes.
I see. Yeah, it makes sense to be honest.
The winner is the Fable, because
Okay.
it has everything that I like. Some deep, heavy, seinen topics. It is funny as hell. It has great action. It's a really good show. A really good manga. Then should we go on with the next category?
Yes, it's yours again.
Yes. Best ongoing read of 2024. It's for me, it's based as well on the physical volumes. And the volumes that have come out from the series in 2024 should have had some major plot twists, major story advancements, or should just have been entertaining. The first one is Apothecary Diaries. I think there were only 2 volumes in this year, of at max 3. But in one volume there was a huge plot twist, which opened a new, huge dynamic. I can't tell you because maybe this will be animated in the end of season 2, but I'm not spoiling. But you can suspect something nice in the end of season 2.
Hmm.
The next one is Chainsaw Man. I think you know it.
Definitely.
You don't like part 2 as much as I, because not as much action, but I think part 2 has stellar character writing and I really like the story. I can give a recommendation for you and the people who don't like part 2 that much. Read it in a continuous session, because when you're reading the chapters back to back instead of
Hmm.
weekly or bi-weekly, it's way better. Because you're waiting 2 weeks for a chapter and you snap and the chapter is finished like that.
Yeah,
That feels kind of meh.
true.
But when you read like 30 chapters a day in evening, it's way better, and you get the how everything is connected. You you understand it way more. The next one is Dandadan, one of yours,
Hmm.
because I finally got to a point where Dandadan had a bit of where a story started. Because in the beginning of Dandadan, yes, we had some great tales, but we did not have a connected story. We just had some random arcs. But in this year, I'm starting to get to the Vamola arc, where her flashback started.
Oh, okay.
Started, not ended. I
Yeah,
think I'm half done. But now I could see that Thunderland has not only potentially have some great arcs, cool fights, but some connected story pieces. That the
it
author
it
is
has it has.
that the author has the capability of writing a good story.
Hmm.
And the next one is Grand Blue Dreaming. It's just here because I am so happy that after I think 1 or 2 years of waiting of hiatus, there was finally a new volume. I've only read one volume, but this was enough because the wait was finally over. You know Great Retrieving too, because we watched it together.
Hmm.
I think that, yes, that should be it.
Yes, it is.
What
So
do you think won?
I know every one of that because I have watched every one of this.
Nice.
Um, it's it's really hard to be honest because I know every one of them and I know you like every one of them. I think you would go with Chainsaw Man or Dandadan. It's actually a close call between those two, but I think Chainsaw Man is still winning by a hair long.
It's actually Apothecary Diaries,
Oh shit!
because
Okay,
there
I
was a
didn't.
huge plot twist. Huge is important, but you will see. But also, before we go on to the next category, because I think that's the only category where Chainsaw Man is mentioned, I sent you the most read chapters of Manga Plus, and the first chapter was kind of embarrassing for the community. It was the chapter where Asa stroked Denji and he came into her head. Why was this the most read chapter this year? Come on, guys. I mean, the chapter was good. It has an interesting message with sexual, not assault. What is the other word?
Reaps are down bad, bro.
Yes, but why does it? Why is this number one? Plus, it's also embarrassing for other shows. We
It
had
is.
probably the most high part of JJK, the battle of Gojo versus Sukuna, the ending of JJK, all the busted and bad. with Rojo, Gojover. And then this was more popular than JJK. Embarrassing.
uh, I remember when I read this chapter and I was like, bro, what the hell happened there just now?
I mean, I like the method when you think about it, but there's at least something there to think about it. Then, should we go on towards the next category?
Yes.
It's one of yours.
Mm,
Best
we're back.
opening.
It's best opening of the year 2024. The first one is, of course, again, Dun Dun Dun. It was just very catching in another creepy nuts banger. So the next one is Kaiju number 8, which had a good opening in English, which is definitely not that often in anime.
It's very rare indeed.
The next one is Bling Blam Blam Bling Blam Blam Bling Blam Blam Bong. What should I say more about this? It's such an earworm. Do you call it earworm in English?
It's a catchy song. It's a good wording, I think.
Because we have this German word called Ohrwurm, and it
Yes.
means you can't get a song out of your head.
Yes, it's like
Uh,
when the Germans say it's a yellow from the egg, and the English people are dying inside because of cringe. When we are
really,
coming with our how it's called with our dumb sayings that make no sense
yes.
in English. It's
Wait,
from Mashal, by the way, your opening.
yes, Masher opening. I wanted to say that. I mean, everyone should have heard it who likes anime. It was over the internet. It exploded over the internet, literally. And the next one is Oshinoko with Fatale, which is also a very great opening, which I played more than 10 times. And it's a good sign if I played a song more than 10 times. What do you think will win with this category?
The problem is I haven't listened to Oshinoko because I haven't watched season 2 and I haven't watched listened to Mashal. So I can only go by with the first few ones. And I think that while the song from Kaiju is good, I think the visuals are kinda meh.
Hmm.
At least for
I mean,
me, I should take the visuals too when I would say that when
yeah,
I would rank an
but
opening.
you know me, I don't care about the visuals. I just care about the music.
Yes. But still, I would say the Dandara opening. Just because of recency bias.
Yes, it is. Creepy Nuts is just a nice band, though, and what they touch gets a banger. They make brilliant songs. Like last year or 2 years ago, with God of the Night.
I haven't watched this.
Ah,
I've only read the first volume of the manga and thought it was meh. I
the
didn't vibe with the
anime,
art style in the manga.
the anime was quite good, but Creepy Nuts did an awesome job there already. Then Mashal season 2 came out with this banger opening. And then we had Otonoke from Dandadan, which was a banger too. And for me, the best opening of this year.
Nice. Then should we go on towards the next category? So the next category is for me best read of 2024. The release date of the manga does not matter. The only thing that matters is that I read it 2024. The first one is a recurring manga. It's DRCL. It's just one of the most unique reading experience. The art, the horror, the supernatural stuff. It draws you into the story. Have not had such an experience while reading a story. I butchered it so hard, but
Yes.
it speaks for the story. I can't even put it into words how good it was. What the experience was. It was that unique, that stunning. So, big W for this one. The next one is from the same author, Innocent. It's just a story for the history nerds. It's such a great depiction of decadence in the court of Versailles. It's just a cool story about an executioner who is really good at his craft, but at his heart does not want to be an executioner. There's such great characters, great character development. I'm even considering it to using it in uni because right now I have a course about decadence, and on while the holidays we should write a narrative about decadence. And I'm considering using this one to analyze the decadence, how it's depicted in this one in visual media. It's that good. I'm even considering using it for my series history study. The next one is Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint. I mean, for me, it's just the peak power fantasy kind of isekai show, the best manhwa. Plus, I like the story because I'm a big reader and the main character's power that he is a reader. It's like when you were an edgy child and saying, I'm a gamer. You felt cool because of it. This show has the same feeling for me just in my late 20s when I'm a cultivated reader who reads only good stuff. Cover. And the last one is. Is it the last one? No, yes, it is. It's Witched Atelia. It's just probably the best fantasy for me. Something that conjures the same feeling like Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, or other fantasy grades that I've had while I was a child. When a show conjures that feeling for grown men, I mean, what could you else ask for? It's so good. So, what do you think won?
It's DRCL again, right?
No.
Ah.
DSCL has the same problem that Kokorakugai has. There are only 3 volumes.
Okay, I see. Yeah, makes sense.
And because of that, it's innocent.
Ah, okay.
Because the history, the depiction, the great character development. I DSCL would be there next year when I will read it and when there are like 4 or 5 volumes. But 3 volumes is a bit too low to say that it was the best thing that I've read.
Mm.
But you can see the potential because those 3 volumes had such a huge impression on me. I mean, if you want to see how good it is, just read the first chapter. You can see it as a horror one shot because it's a story on a boat. Then you can see true horror in manga that actually works and is good.
Ah, okay.
It's
I
really
see.
good. Just read the first chapter. That's a huge recommendation. So, the next category is for me as well.
Mm.
It's the best reread of 2024. For me, a reread has 2 purposes. It's just there's something that is so good that I want to enjoy it over and over again, or that's a story that is really complex or had some complex scenes where I needed to read it again to understand it better or saw the seeds that the author planted for a huge plot twist, for example, or how things are connected better because some series could be really overwhelming when you read it at first. The first one is Argent. Argent is still one of the best action series. The action is just peak. I read it every year once or twice because it's also a very quick read and it has the best antagonist an anime and manga, period. The second read is Doredoro. After my first read, I thought Doredoro was good, really good. Like in my top 10, but the last place, at the 10th place. But after this read, it could probably be my first manga. I at least could argue with the other four manga that are 10 out of 10 for me. The 10 out of 10, but are has number one potential for me. Because the first read of Dorador was really overwhelming. Because there was one huge plot twist. I think you
Mm.
also know the plot twist with End,
Yes,
right? And
yes.
after there's so much chaos and your brain it explodes because so much happens. The next one is one of your favorites, not it's Frieren.
Mm.
I reread because my favorite arc concludes this year with Macht. This was the best arc of the series. 10 out of 10. Truly amazing. Plus, you can also reread Frieren a lot of times because of the nice slice of line scenes, the enjoyment that you have. It's just a feel good and a wholesome manga. And the last one is Grand Redeeming. Because I really recommend Redeeming every year in summer because it's for me just the best summer series. I mean, you watched it and you know that why you should read it in the summer.
Mm.
I think. Yes, that's it for my rereads. What do you think was my favorite reread this year?
Dodo he Dodo. We
Yes,
win it. Yes.
correct.
Yes, I got one right. Let's go.
Because this reread left had the most impact. Other rereads were just rereads that I enjoyed but didn't change that much about my opinion of said series. But in Dorado, my ranking skyrocketed towards the greatest heights that the series could have for me. The last category is yours with Best Romance.
So, okay. The first one is Amagami. Tying the knot with an Amagami sister is full title. I called
Yes,
it Amagami for short.
I call it Amagami's sister. Nearly as short.
Um, a show about a guy who gets adopted into a Shrine family and then has to marry one of the three Shrine girls who are
To in-
sisters.
yes, to inherit a shrine.
Yes, because the Shrine owner is going to die soon because he's old.
An
So
old
he has to,
grandpa.
yeah. So he has to find a replacement. After the time, they get to know each other better and they form bonds, a good romance.
Yes, I kinda recommended this one to you because I was yapping a lot about it.
Yes. So then I watched it.
Are you up to
Uh,
date?
I watched the latest episode.
Yeah, stunks have risen, right?
Hmm.
Good episode. Good last episodes.
But I don't think she will win. I actually go still for Yuna or the
Yes.
red-haired girl.
But at least you see what I mean with that. It's not that obvious when you continue to
Yes.
watch it.
But I think the youngest one is Blitch Blutch Quatch.
Ah, we will talk about it in a few months.
Yes.
Plus there plus plus there was the one scene where you saw the forms from the
Yeah.
sisters where they are grown-ups. And
Hmm.
about that version we can talk.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. True.
So
Let's go on with the next
plus
one then.
plus wait because you can
Okay.
you saw a bit with the eye that there were some other phenomena in this episode. That there were some supernatural phenomena, right?
Hmm. Yes.
That was the thing that I was talking about, where I don't want to spoil you.
It's basically the Quint's flashback.
No, there are some really supernatural phenomena coming that have impact on the story,
Hey,
which makes it a bit uniquer.
you mean that he can see his future or his past?
Yes, and some other things.
Yes, I don't know more than that.
Yes, I'm not going to spoil that much, but I just want to talk about it because I was teasing you with it for a few podcast episodes. Now we can go on.
The next one is Oshinoko, which I had to include because Akane and Kana are in love with Aqua.
Yes,
Yeah, so it's definitely a valid romance anime.
best girl took a big L in this season.
Mm.
F in the chat.
The next one is Dandadan, which I had to put again because
Yes.
I like the synergy between Okarun and Momo. It's a nice love that I enjoy every time. And Ida plus Okarun is actually solid too.
I think what makes the romance in Dandadan special is that it's a shonen action show with good romance elements, but because
Mm.
do you know any other shonen that has also battle shonen that has good romance? Not
No.
just some tagged on shipping in the end to make the shippers happy.
And actually, they are rational, like real people, not like those romance anime guys who are.
Not just some stereotypes.
Yes,
Yes.
they are like real people.
Yes. The other
They
battle
talk.
shonen continue, make your
They
point
talk
first.
their problems out and they behave like normal people, not
Yes,
those
and
people who are like, oh no, you said something stupid. I don't talk to you again.
yes, there's a misunderstanding, and you're not asking, oh, sorry, did I make a mistake there and there because it looked dumb or looked unfortunate for you, or when there's a misunderstanding, you need to talk about it and not
Mm.
just gobble it down and never talk about it.
Yep.
What I wanted to say, the other battle shown where you could argue that there's a good romance arc is in Chainsaw Man, the upcoming Reese movie. But
Mm.
that's just one arc, 2 volumes, not a whole show.
Yes. So, do you have anything to add to Dandadan?
No.
Okay, and the last one is Spice and Wolf. And actually, I had to take it in because I didn't watch much romance anime this year. From this year, I watched romance anime, but not from this year.
Yes, there are a few ones that are good that you haven't watched. That I'm going to recommend you at some point.
So it should be obvious what is going to win, right?
Yes. But before you go on with. I'm going to buy the Spice Wolf manga next year because we are getting a new edition in Germany,
Oh, nice.
a new bigger edition. Because the manga is obviously better than the anime.
Mm,
Because
for reasons.
on the picture that you've searched out, it's a manga picture and there's is written parental advisory warning, explicit content. And you know what that means.
Mm,
For me, the winner, because of my manga knowledge, it's Amagami Sister, but for you, it's probably Dandadan.
it is because it's just a real relationship between those two. They 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 don't they don't change or anything. They are just normal humans. They talk about their problems, and you can see that it's evolving over time, like a real relationship.
Yes. especially how they are solving the issues. It's just feels normal and realistic.
Mm. It's definitely a good mix up between those stereotypic romance animes.
Yes. So before we end this episode, I have a bit of a hot take to present. But take is not that hot, but I think we could use it as a good conclusion.
Yes, go ahead and
I
say it.
think 2024 was, in terms of anime and manga that came out, in terms of new anime and manga that came out, just okay. There were not that many exceptional and really, really, really good series where you are
Yeah.
thinking about in maybe a few years and saying, oh, that comes out this year. Peak. This year was peak because of this. Because how many new series came out this year that were exceptional and really good? Number
Okay, just
is
Thunder done for me.
yes. And for a manga side, I had a few series that I like, but not many that I would consider to put in my top 10 for in my manga list. Maybe some in my top 20, but that could also be a stretch. Maybe with Fable. Depends on how good the ending is, how the story progresses. But in this year, we had a lot of good continuations and ongoing stuff.
And I'm really hyped to see what's coming next in 2025 because a lot of good shows get another adaptation for the next season in next year.
Yes, we're going to talk about this next episode.
Hmm.
We are going to talk about what comes out 2055 for manga or animes and what's coming out beyond because something is announced to have an anime production but without a date. For example, Omniscient Reader C Point does not have a date, I think. But we can still talk about it in the next episode.
I think that was it for this episode, right?
Yes. Before we end, what number score would you give this anime and manga year for yourself personally? I think that's a good ending point.
Because we only had some continuations on already there animes. I would go with an 7.5 to 8 out of 10.
Yes, I would go as well with a 7 or a 7.5. Maybe an 8 at max.
Yes.
Because we have to take into account that some series that we liked had some nosedives and some endings that were coming out this year were pretty bad as well.
Mm.
I don't know about which show we talk.
So, but I think next year will get better, I hope.
Great potential for next year.
Definitely a lot of good shows will get a continuation.
Also, from the manga side, there are some bangers. We're getting Steel Ball Run. Let's go.
Yes, for real. We also get solo leveling.
You mean the second season?
Yes.
Yes.
We get the Demon Slayer movies.
Are you really
We
hyped
get.
about those?
I'm really, really hyped about this.
Do you think you can go into cinema and see those?
I hope. I hope I get free this day.
What would you do if I ask the boss to get free on this day to watch those and you need to go to work?
Then I will kill you. I will pull my katana and put it up your neck.
I have, I have also katana, so we can make a deal. But no, I'm just joking. I'm not going to see those movies in cinema.
Yes.
So,
So
yeah, Have a nice rest of your day.
Yes. I hope you enjoyed this episode.
Yes. And I hope you enjoyed your year 2024.
Yes. Have a great new year.
Yes, you will hear us next year.
Hehe. Haha. So, yeah. See you in the next episode next year.
Bye.